I'm going to do a second video with a couple of examples of Villanelles that I particularly like. Just to recap, if you haven't seen the first video, a villanelle is a set of 5 3-line verses, tercets, and the first and third line of the first verse is repeated again and again in those 5 verses. Then we have a quatrain at the end, 4-line verse, and the repeated lines are repeated in the last 2 lines. So my first example is from a poet, an American poet called Elizabeth Bishop, who I particularly admire and love, and this villanelle is called One Art. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day. Accept the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names and where it was you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch. And look, my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster, some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I miss them, but it wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster. And finally, a poem by a poet who I also admire, a British poet, called David Hartnett, D.H. Hartnett, and this is a villanelle called Boy on a Swing. Lost in its weightless arc, taking the strain, a pendulum between the earth and sky, his body drifts from my hands, then back again. Flaring through distances, a jet plane segments the blue with milky vertebrae lost in their weightless arc, taking the strain. It is the simplest physics to explain how legs make motion folding at the knee. His body drifts from my hands, then back again. Years ago, in an orchard by a lane, like him, I shouted, "Daddy, don't push, let me!" Lost in my weightless arc, taking the strain. Now those joyful words pivot on a pain. Weighted with fatherhood, I have learnt why his body drifts from my hands, then back again. The vapor trail has smeared to one grey chain. Night swings near. The frame creaks sleepily. Lost in its weightless arc, taking the strain, his body drifts from my hands, then back again.